Hey, we are live here today with the Cisco Global Network Marketing Insider Training or Insider Series. I'm sorry, number 191. You will have to excuse me for any faux pas. I am feeling under the weather still. Had a few days here, caught a cold, and it's why isn't that thing working? Anyway, as evidence right there. Look, I'm not even. There's nobody here, and I guess it's just something that's bred into us. We don't want to spread our germs, so we always try to cover our mouth when we cough and or sneeze and or do any of those bad things that spread the germs all over. And I got to tell you, uh, right here, let me get caught up. Um, I don't know. When it comes to being sick, I'm a baby. Uh, I but I have a theory and I have a system, and it works because I don't know. I see a lot of people. I'm not going to say any. I'm not even going to say most people. I just see a lot of people who, when they get when they don't feel well, they grab a lot of drugs and cover-ups to suppress the symptoms, so that they can go out and continue with their day, work, do the things that they need to do, et cetera, and so on. And when they get sick, their sickness seems to drag on for weeks on end. 2, 3 weeks. People talk about all the time. Oh, I was sick for 2 or 3 weeks. I don't think I've ever been sick for 2 or 3 weeks, because my theory is this: is when I get sick, I don't try to battle it. I don't try to fight it. I don't try to cover it up and go throughout my day. I just completely give into it. What I can, one thing that it affects me that I have found is that it really, my mind gets so foggy and so congested that I really can't think straight. My mind just does not function when I'm sick. And so I have found that trying to function with anything that requires mind processes and thinking, it's a waste of time. I don't get anything done. You know what I find myself doing a lot is this. Yeah, just staring at the screen, or just staring at my work, or just staring at something and not getting anything done. And I catch myself not even, my mind isn't even thinking at that time. I mean, I'm just literally a blank slate, just for minutes on end. And it's funny, I catch myself doing that all the time when I'm not feeling well, if I'm trying to do something. Now I can go through, the interesting thing is I mean, I can go through physical motions, physical activities that don't really require any thinking. They just like things that I normally do, or things that that have to get done. Like I could get up and go rake the yard, um, because I don't have to think about anything. It's a physical motion that just, like I said, doesn't take any thinking. I can do those kinds of things when I don't feel well. And I might be slow at it or whatnot. I'm not going to get finished with it. I don't care. That's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is to really weaken myself even further, so that the disease, I call it, the disease, the sickness, the bug, the germ, the virus, whatever it is that's in me, can, say, oh, look, a weakened state, attack, 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 and spread itself really, really thin, going out and attacking and attacking and attacking. Have you ever played the game Risk, at the old war game, where you have the little cubes that stand for the number of armies that you have, and you have all these armies, and you take over countries, and you move your armies into a new country and things like that, and you can have a whole bunch of armies in one or very little in another or whatnot. The guy that never wins is the guy who has a whole bunch of armies. He stockpiles them on one country, and then one day he goes on, and then one turn he decides to go on a conquering rampage, and he goes out and he conquers and he conquers and he conquers and he conquers and he conquers, and he leaves one army behind in each country that he conquers, and he conquers and he conquers and he conquers, conquer, whatever, until he gets down to the end where he's conquered himself out. He's got one army left on all of his armies, on all of his countries, but he has no defense. See, that's where I'm at. I do that to the germ. I play the Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope system on my illness, and and I will let the disease attack out there so rampantly that it itself spreads itself thin. And then in the evening time, I have a regimen of um, of immune support that now allows my system to come in at night when I go to sleep and attack back. And at first, it's a pretty even exchange. The disease attacks and we attack, and it comes back to kind of where it was. I always kind of wake up feeling like, hey, I feel pretty good. Now, how long that lasts? Sometimes it's an hour, sometimes two, and then it starts settling back in again. The disease starts taking over. And so, like I say, at that point in time, I'll find something physical, a physical activity that I can weaken the state of my body by just, working and working and working and letting the disease do its thing, and, sneezing and coughing and doing all the things that it's making me do all over the place. But generally outside, away from people, so that I'm not infecting others. And then in the evening time, after I've, got myself down to a really weakened state, I'll come in, I'll run through my regimen again, and I'll strengthen up my immune system. And generally, I'll be sick for anywhere. It'll usually be a 3 or a 5 day event. I will oftentimes be able to battle this out to where it comes on. We do battle overnight, kind of a thing. And by the next day, I'm feeling, not 100%, but about 85%. I really wiped it out and, kind of got it before it even had a chance to start. And by the 4th day, I'm perfectly fine again. Or sometimes it'll last, like I said, 3 to 5 days, where by the 6th day, I'm feeling perfectly fine again. And so that's, a very interesting thing is, like I said, the whole rope-a-dope system. That's my theory behind catching a cold. And I feel that, if I just give in and give up whatever it is, 3 to 5 days, and don't accomplish anything during that time except for battling this thing and putting it to bed, getting it out of my life for at least another year, because I only get sick about once a year, if that. And so if I can do that and just, hey, I just give into it, I give up 3 to 5 days, and the next thing I know, I'm back on track. Well, within that next 3 to 5 days of my being back on track, I can get 3 times as much done as I could have possibly gotten done if I would to, try to cover up the symptoms, drag this thing out, take 3 weeks before it goes away, and during that whole 3-week period, continue to try and work and be functional and think and produce, be productive, and do all of those things that I need to do during the course of my day, my routine, my business, etc., and so on. I can get 3 times as much done in 5 days than I can in 3 weeks, which makes up for the 3 to 5 days that I gave up. So I've just found it's a much more productive way to go. Besides, I don't like being sick so dramatically that I want it over with as quickly as possible. I don't want it dragging out 2 to 3 weeks. So that's my system. That's how I do it. I give in and I do battle, and it's just the way that I go about it. It's interesting because I bring this up because it's interesting because other people can't relate to that. There's, oh, you're a big wimp, you're a wuss, come on, get out of bed, go to work, you can do this. don't give into it, don't think about it, all those kinds of things. And it's like, yeah, I get it. I could do that. I could very easily do that. But but like I said, I have found my system to be much more successful and much more productive overall, to just black out, check out, and give up whatever it's going to be, 3 to 5 days, and then come back at full strength and pick up where I left off. Just my game. You can think about that if you want. Put it to use if you like. So anyway, today is Wisdom Wednesday, Website Wednesday. I'm sorry. And I don't know if you guys are seeing this yet. I want to go to, let's see here if I can figure out how to do this again. It's been a while. I want to do a screen share here for you guys. I want to go check something here. Here we go. We're going to share this. Excellent. I hope we're screen sharing. I want to show you, I'm inside the website here, and I want to show you that, I want to look at these prices. My gosh, look at that. Gold is all the way down to 1070. And silver is at 1417. Now, silver's kind of been holding around there. Silver's not making dramatic changes. Gold being at 1070, people are saying, oh, it's pretty low, pretty low, pretty low. It is pretty low. I would have to actually have to agree with that. Gold is pretty low, considering that it's been floating, in the 11 to 12, slightly over $1,300, or slightly up to $1,300 an ounce range. Being at 1070 is pretty low. I like it. Unfortunately, I've just been with our real estate business. My funds have been making a lot of movement in order to, create more business and earn more money. I've been using my capital base, so I haven't been here to make any purchases in quite some time. Actually, I think it's been about over a month, almost 2 months maybe, because of that reason. But it's okay, because I know that as soon as I kind of get through this little section of throwing out my money and investing it all over the place, that suddenly there's going to be a larger base that I can come back in here and I can make a large purchase to make up for the small ones that I've skipped. I just hope that these prices hold out. The interesting thing I wanted to point out is that, let me see, I think I'm still screen sharing, and I hope this just transfers over. Here's an interesting graph that I found. This is an awesome little graph here that I found. Oops, that is all about the gold prices and where they've been. And I didn't even realize, this is kind of crazy, I never realized that gold reached $2,000 an ounce in 1980. That's crazy. I had no clue. I don't remember that. I don't know why I don't remember that. Probably because in 1980 I was high and drunk and didn't pay any attention to it. But I don't really remember it ever reaching $2,000 an ounce. I thought this right here in August of 2011 at 1916 was the all-time high for gold, and I seem to recall that being, the news. Gold reaches an all-time high at 1916. Will we crest 2000? Et cetera, and so on. So very interesting that I want to look into that to make sure that this is accurate at $2,000 an ounce in 1980. But if you look at this graph, it's kind of deceiving, because these prices. But if you look at like from 1990. Right here at 6,700 or $671, all the way to right here, 1996. There's a 6-year period that gold held at around $600, a little over, give and take, right? And then we have this big drop off here, where this looks like a big drop off, but it really wasn't much. I mean, the graph is a little bit deceiving to look at, because we're at 600. And it travels down until we get right here to 450 in November of 97. So that's actually a pretty big drop pretty quickly. From July of 96 to, oops, I went too far, December of 97. We came down to 400 in just over a year. But now, from December of 97, if you look, 444, here we are, we dropped down all the way to 360 at the lowest, which isn't too much lower, and back up to the 450 range here in December of 03. So there's another 5 years where gold floated at the pretty much the 425, 450, somewhere in that range. Then now we have this sort of, from 05, we have this sort of, where was I? 500. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 02. Now from 02, we have this sort of little bit of increasing, and where we're getting back up to towards the $600 range until we get there in 05. Very interesting stuff we have going on here. 05, now we jump up to 700, 800 right here in 06, May of 06, 700 or 800. For a couple of years, it floats around there during the height. Remember, that's the height of the boom, 5, 6, 7. Now when gold starts to crash, March of 2008, when the economy starts to crash, look at this, gold starts to go up, 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 up. Drop back down to 900. Where was that? Come on. Give me the oh, all the way back to 800 at the end of October, but then up, 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 all the way through to that bottom peak, August of 2011. But it really stayed up there until, if you look, it really stayed up there until the bottom being September of 2012. So that's really a 4-year run of holding out at the peak up there. What I find very interesting is that where's it at? This mark, there it is, December of 2008. Yep, December 2008 would be the last time that gold fell below $1,000 an ounce. I need to do some more work with this graph here so I can point some things out to you. But that $1,000 an ounce mark, from the research that I've done fairly recently, to me is a trigger. That $1,000 an ounce mark is, oops, what just happened there? Is this point right here. I think that $1,000 an ounce mark is this point right here. And look what happened after, beyond this point. I think it's also this point, and I think it's also this point, and I think it's also probably this point, and I think it's also no, actually, in reality, I think the $1,000 an ounce mark is this point. It's realistically this point, and it's this point, and it's this point. I think that's what the $1,000 mark, an ounce mark here, equals for us, which is right there. When gold falls below $1,000 an ounce, I think that signifies the beginning of a cycle upwards. So yeah, gold right now being at, oh, whoops, let me get back to the other side. Oh gosh, sorry guys, I'm not used to the screen sharing so much. There we go. Gold right now being at 1070, at 1,070. Yeah, that's low. I think it's going to stay low. I think gold is going to be staying in the thousands. It might bounce up over 1,100 again. But I think we got some time here, a couple years. My idea is that 2018, December of 2018 is 10 years. 10 years since the last time gold went below $1,000 an ounce. I think that's a key mark. I don't know why. It just, I mean, I do know why, but I don't have time to show it. But there, inside that graph, I can show it to you. But 2018, 10 years since gold fell below $1,000 an ounce. I think that's the headline you're going to see that says, "Uh-oh, troubles a brewing." That's really what I think what it signifies. That trouble is a brewing. So with that, everybody, I just want to say that that was the Swiss Gold Global website. That gives me the ability to make my gold purchases. Not right there on that page, but one just right away. That shows me what I have. It shows me the daily London gold fixing, the very first thing in the morning with the London gold fixing, which is what I make my gold purchases at. If I place an order today, first thing tomorrow morning when the price gets fixed, that was where my order will take place. That's what I will buy my gold at. That's how it works. And I get to see what that number is. That is constantly updated each and every morning with the London gold fixing of the price there. So I know exactly what's going on with the gold. I know what's happening there. Right there within my website, every day, boom, I can be seeing within minutes, within seconds, really. Depends on how long it takes for your computer to start up. But within seconds, I can see what the price of gold is for the day and whether or not I want to make a purchase, or whether or not I think that that's causing some sort of an effect, or whether or not I need to do a little research or whatnot. A lot of things within the website, very, very powerful stuff. We're running over time here. I can't believe that I went on this long, but with that, everybody, I just want to say that we got some really, really good gold buying years ahead of us here. I think, honestly, in my mind, as we're going into 2016, we've got 3 full years of good gold buying time. Stock them up. All right. Oh, universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire. Everybody have a great day. We will see you back here on Freedom Friday for some very, very awesome information and insight.